Welcome to Things I Can't Say, the podcast for the things parents whisper, not post. I'm Annie, a parent who's walked through the quiet, lonely hallways of raising a child with traits that don't fit neatly into any of the parenting books, or on anyone's social media feed either. Each week we'll open the door to stories that rarely get told out loud. I'll start with mine, and then you'll hear from other parents, mental health professionals, and people who know what it means to live in the gray instead of the black and white. This is a place where shame loses its power, where complexity isn't feared but explored, and where love doesn't have to be easy in order to be real. If you've ever felt like no one else could possibly understand, you're not alone here. This is Things I Can't Say, and I am so glad you're here. Pull up a chair. Get comfy. I think this might be the part where I just say all the bad words, although I probably won't. To set the scene, I'm in my bathrobe again today. Also, I'm eating the Reese's, the holiday shapes, because the holiday shapes are far superior to the regular ones. The amount of peanut butter to chocolate is just better. It is a eating the sweet things, thinking all the bad words kind of day. I keep thinking that at some point this will end. At some point, there is a place where I get to move on. I don't know why I think that. I don't know why I have this idea in my mind that this ends somewhere, because it clearly does not. Last night, I got a message on social media that said, "Hi, your son ran away or ran off with my 21-year-old daughter. I need you to call me." I talked to my husband about that for a bit because I could not decide if I wanted to call or not. I didn't know if I wanted to get involved or not. And also, there's that part of me that feels empathy for a parent who doesn't know where her child is, even if they're 21 years old. So I decided to go ahead and call. The person he ran off with is the same person I knew he was recently seeing. And while I was concerned that he was seeing someone, and I know how all relationships tend to go, this person was 21. So we have an adult, a clear adult 21-year-old person um, who technically is responsible for their own decisions. So I did not feel quite as bad about that, even though I knew what the dynamics of the home were. I knew that there was concerning things happening. I still knew he was seeing an adult and not a minor. What I found out in that phone call was this adult also has some disabilities, um, not a lot of life experience. I won't go into full detail on that, but coming into a relationship with my son, she was the far less experienced person in this situation. Um, I feel like what I was told by the parent on the phone ended up being not completely true, but I'll catch you up on that part. What I was told on the phone is that when my son first kind of came into the picture, it all seemed fine. Things changed over time where he was asking for more things, wanted to marry the daughter. I mean, it's been 2 months, but he wanted to marry her. He wanted access to her money. He was doing things that were crossing lines, lots of things. She acted like she had just found my TikTok account and had just watched all of my videos and was learning about who he was and was surprised about that. Um, and the concern was that my son and her daughter had taken off and she didn't know where they were, and her daughter needed medications and supports, and she needed to get her home, and she didn't trust my son. So that's kind of the general concept of the phone call. I tried to keep it as factual as I could because I did not want to get emotionally invested in that. Uh, Based on history, I knew that biological family would have more information on where they likely were. And so I made a phone call to biological family. And what I heard on that phone call was that this parent who called me had been watching my videos for a long time, knew everything that I had to say, and did not believe what I was saying because my son was saying the opposite. So there was a lot of kind of making fun of what I was saying because clearly it was crazy. So that was kind of difficult to hear. One of the pieces that really threw me off in this conversation is that there is a young child in the home. Um, and when I talked to the parent of this girl, they said they knew my son was not supposed to be around minors, but this minor was a boy, and he said it was fine for him to be around boys. He just couldn't be around girls. And I said that would absolutely not be true. Which, if you've watched my videos, you knew that. She also commented that CPS had made a visit recently to do an assessment, and my son hid from them, which was probably wise on his part because he would have gotten in trouble or she would have gotten in trouble for him being in the home with a very young child because he knows better. And if she has watched my videos, she also knows better. So I got off the phone last night with both this girl's mom and biological family, knowing some basic facts. The facts are my son has not changed in any way, shape, or form. Sorry, I'm shaking while I'm talking about this. um, he is using the exact same tactics that he has always used to get what he wants. Um, I I'm not saying this factually. I'm saying what I believe to be true on this part, but dating a girl who is 21, I believe is very, very intentional because she has access to the things that he would like to get and cannot get legally. Um, they got a ride about an hour and a half away from us from a family friend, supposedly to get him help, which I don't believe he ended up getting at all. They were left in a home, just the two of them, which seems real unsafe to me given the state of where things are at and everybody's mental abilities in this situation. By the time I was done with these phone calls, spoke to my husband, I sent the mom a text and said, if I get the address of where they're at, I'm happy to send that to you, but I do not want any further updates. If you get her home, wonderful. I don't want to know anymore. I don't need to be included in this. I don't want to know. I don't need to know. I don't need to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of any more of this because the place that this puts me in, because I know too much. I know too much. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can fix. There's nothing I can change. There's nothing I can stop. And I hear all of this information and it makes me want to scream. The mom commented, isn't there anything that can be done because he's dating somebody who has some disabilities? Like he's taking advantage of someone with disabilities. I don't know. I don't know. Call someone and ask. I'm not the person. I'm not the person. What I do know is now I know that my son has spent significant time with a young child under the age of 5 he's not supposed to be with, and I feel like I need to report that because that was not okay. And for all I know, he'll end up back with this kid. because that's how these things go. These parents tend to, these parents, I'm trying to balance what I'm saying. I'm trying to be kind and compassionate and all of the things, but uh, he manages to stay involved with these people. He manages to tell them a news story and get back in and oh, I just want to scream today. I don't want to be a part of this. Do I get to say that as the parent? As the parent, do I get to say that I do not want to be involved in anything my 18-year-old son does? I don't want to know about it anymore. I don't want to be updated. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to know how he is or where he is or what he's doing or who he's I don't want any part of it. Somebody commented on a video recently, "Well, he's still young." Yes, I know. I know. And the amount of damage that has already been done is disgusting. And it's not stopping. It's not slowing down. I I don't even know if this is a good thing to be sharing on here because I don't feel like my train of thought is super, like, straightforward on this one, but all of the things that are happening just confirm for me everything in my mind. I'll give you one example of this. Every girl he has dated, every girl, has ended up during their relationship with large hickeys on their neck, and he gets them to give him large hickeys on his neck. And there's no talking him out of that doesn't look great to other people. It looks kind of trashy to walk around with large hickeys on your neck, but there is something for him about the public view of people knowing that he is dating someone, intimate with someone. He has to have that piece. And this very inexperienced girl that he's dating ended up with the large hickeys on her neck. That was part of the phone call with her mom. And as soon as she said that to me, I just wanted to throw up because this is the same cycle. It's what he does with everybody. And I could walk you through step by step exactly how he enters into the friendship, relationship, enters into your family, gets to know the parent, all the stuff that he says. I could walk you through it step by step. I could tell you how to stop it, and there's still nothing I can do to prevent it because it's going to continue happening over and over and over again. And there's nothing I can do. It is the most helpless. Now I'm going to cry. It is the most helpless feeling to know that my child is doing this to people, a and there will be an argument that he's doing it with a consenting adult. No, he's not. No, he's not. He chooses people intentionally. He chooses people with a lot of trauma. He chooses people who struggle. He chooses people with mental health issues. He chooses very intentionally and uses people to get what he wants every single time. And as I told this mom, it is going to be very difficult to get her daughter away from him. It will be incredibly difficult to take this inexperienced girl who now thinks that this kid is the world to her, who has told her so many things and has probably done way too much to her. It is going to be so hard to convince her that he is not worth it. Makes me sick to my stomach because there's just another one. For a while, I knew them all. For a while, I interacted with them all. I still get texts from them. I will still get texts from the girls he's dated asking me where he is and how he is and what's happening and if he's been in trouble yet, and I still talk to them. And now realizing that there's more that I will never know about. There's like this trail left behind of pain due to my child. Anyway, these are the details I do not share elsewhere because it does not feel appropriate to talk about all of it on social media, but for some reason I can say it on here. So there you go. That is where we're at right now, is this place of I feel, I don't even want to say it, I feel responsible because it's my child. It's my child, and even if I have warned everyone and told them all what he is going to do, and they still let him do it, even if I warned them, it's still my child who's hurting people. There's nothing I can do to make it end. And I don't wanna watch anymore. I don't wanna watch the train wreck anymore. I don't want any part of it, and it also feels like it's never gonna end. There's not an end. That's all. I really feel like that's gonna be it, right? I'll set the boundary that I don't wanna know anymore, and then I just won't know anymore. Hear the really big deep breath because we're just gonna try to get through this. I don't know what comes next, but I would like it to be over. This stuff is painful. That's all. I wish you peace, whatever that looks like for you. I hope you feel some peace in the next few days. And I hope I do too, because I think we all deserve it. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for being here, listening, feeling, and sitting with the hard stuff. If you've ever whispered a story like mine, I'd love to hear from you. You can leave me a message at mombehindthescenes.com because every story told gives someone else permission to share theirs. This is Things I Can't Say, the podcast for things you whisper, not post. Until next time, take care of yourself.